Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
All right.
With you.
So,
we're totally with you. Okay.
All right. Wait. So hold up.
Easy. Monday.
27.
Easy.
Johnny. I'm stuck on the whole walking
In
through
the 80s, so
home.
she was like a Molly Ringwald to me. Like, if you know anything about the John Hughes movies.
I won $100 million.
Oh, God.
I disappeared.
I got it. I know this is why it works. Because there is a way. You think you not. Like,
Easy. Welcome everybody to Easy Monday Motivation. It's your homeboy E checking in with you on this wonderful April 8th, Monday, ready to rock it. We're going to talk about some fun stuff, but I want to check in with the people who keep it all the way live. And I'm just going to tell y'all behind the scenes, this dude.
Go to him first.
Like, CT, what's up, man? Like, I ain't even like, how you been? But what's up, man?
What's up with you?
Hi, Johnny. What's up,
Johnny.
man?
Hey,
Y'all,
Johnny.
CT got a bad attitude today.
It's good to see you, Johnny. I've missed you, Johnny, since the last episode.
Only Johnny.
Only Johnny. There's nobody else in this pod. It's Johnny. Johnny, are you okay? Are you okay?
He acted up today.
I'm not even sure how this pod is going to go, family, but I just know that it's easy like Monday morning. Anyway, hey, it's good to see. Oh, wait a minute, Eric is on here too. Hey, what's up?
He's here.
I'm so glad to be back in the Easy Monday Motivation pod room. Cam, how you doing? Background. Hopefully, you can wear your hat without being able to have a haircut. But anyway, so my week is starting off fantastic. I'm traveling. Tampa, New Orleans. So it's a bit of a hectic week from a travel perspective, but good things happen and everybody is well. And hopefully no one lost their eyes in the solar eclipse. But where I'm going to be, I'm not going to be able to see it anyway. So if y'all see Miss Melanie walking around stumbling because she actually didn't wear her glasses and she looked at the eclipse, please send money to www.youshouldn'thavlooked-at-it.com and be able to fund new glasses and eyewear. So I'm not even sure what's going to happen on this pod, y'all, but we are mad turned up right now. So just glad to be here. Love my EMM family. And E, back to you.
Thank you, CT. Thank you so much, CT. And you know what, though? I love you, brother. I appreciate you. Johnny, my liege, how do you be? How was your week?
Oh my gosh! You know I'm still laughing about the www. Hey, you know Terry is a school teacher. We got like a whole bag of glasses that we should have hollered at you beforehand. We could have been passing them out. I know we got a whole bag of glasses, but I'm good. I am so good. I am traveling as well this week. So it'll be a busy week, but it'll be good. And with it being April 8th, I have to, a couple weeks ago, I shouted out my grandmother as the, woman that has been really impactful to me. So this is her heavenly birthday, April 8th. So shout out to Grandma Addie V. But yeah, really good. That's right. I forget how old she would have been today, but that's okay. Shout out to her.
Shout out to Grandma Addie V. Do your thing. It's your mom. Yeah, there we go. We representing our loved ones. You know, we did the dang thing. Guys, I'm good. There's a lot of stuff going on in my space right now. I'm revving back up the Scotch with the engine. I haven't really been motivated to cook a lot, and I'm starting to get that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, hey, I feel like creating. So my creative juices in that space is starting to pick up. I'm pretty excited about that. I destroyed a vegan carrot cake, but I made some carrot cake brownies that turned out like wondiferous. So really? Yeah, like, the ebbs and flows. Like nobody ever believes I make bad food. So like I'm saying it so people actually know, like, the catastrophe sitting on the counter right there. I would show you, but I'm a little,
What happened? Like, well, do you know what caused it? Yeah. Do you know what caused it in this time?
baking is science, and I
It is
failed the
science.
experiment. I mean, that's the experiment failed. That's exactly what I have to say. Too much pineapple juice is the only thing I can blame it on.
Okay.
But a heavy concentration of very well pureed carrots. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I messed up, but I had fun, and that was the point. I also got to hang out with some of the teenagers that I've been doing cooking classes with, and you know, that was fun. So we worked on Mexican food. I showed them how to make marinades and different stuff. So, you know, I worked to, you know, get my juice going and give and you know, do all the fun stuff. So I got to do that. I got to hang out with my family, and you see, I'm rocking my Godzilla t-shirt. So always know that, you know, your boy's in his happy place when he got his Godzilla t-shirt on.
Hey man, let's do season 3, bro. Let's have them on the show, or let's do like a cooking joke. Like, help us learn how to cook on the show. Like, I want to be motivated because I love food, I love eating, and the whole Scotch with E. Like, we talk about him, like we've heard about him, and there may be if we're connected with him on socials, but like we should bring Scotch with E.
That's a good call.
You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like some fun. Yeah, we'll pick. I'll probably pick some summer stuff, and we can. I'll show some people how to get some stuff prepped for the grill. Right, I may not be the one, you know, cooking it. I'll give you the steps, but I may show you how to do all the prep work and get some wonderful stuff together. Then tell you the steps of what you can execute. Because I think summer fun, summer ambrosia salads, all these different things that you can kind of like play with, just to have a really good experience, like with summer foods. I think, yeah, we could do that. All right, cool. All right, you've convinced me.
On the Godzilla on the grill, like that's what
Godzilla on the grill.
Anytime he's cooking, sign me up. If he is cooking, giving us recipes, mixing drinks, I am there. You don't have to say it twice.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, we got to put this something together. So, you know, the EMM family comes together. We may have an EMM cookout. We might invite some people. But the fish are doing good as well. The you know, the tank is on crystal. I have levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got aqua, just basic. But like when it's clear and looking real good, and the fish is enjoying themselves, that's crystal. So fish on crystal. Lemmy is in flux, and my little sister wants me to let her babysit my plant. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I'll let her do it. I mean, he's never lived anywhere else, but if he dies in her care, I'll just charge her. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and move into today's things. Today we have a wonderful topic that I definitely am excited to talk about. And I'm going to give a little backdrop on this and you guys weren't prepared for it, because of course I don't prepare anybody for anything I want to talk about, because that way we can have some real conversation, you know, no studying.
Chaos.
Exactly. Your homeboy E, bringing the AOC energy today, wants to kick this off talking about, since April is Couples Appreciation Month, I want to talk about appreciating each other as a couple and relationship dynamics. Now, the fun thing about today, for me specifically, is today would be my anniversary if I was still married, and I would be 22 years married today.
How you gonna do that? How you gonna do that?
I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna do what?
Stop the show. Like,
you can't stop the show.
Cameras.
That's not how this works.
Are you feeling some kind of way too?
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm good. I mean, I already went to therapy. I've already been divorced for many years.
Right now.
But I do.
Johnny and I are feeling some kind of way.
I'm bringing it
before the show. Johnny is even better than I am to prep us on no surprises on the show. And just like that, Johnny, did he just drop info to you?
That's right. All right, so
serious. This wasn't like the no. Usually when you say you don't prep us, we're like, okay, that's cool. You know, that means just some questions you'll throw out, some different things. This come on now.
Oh, well, we got to talk about what works. Yeah, today.
Bring him out. Bring him out, CT. No. I wasn't ready for this.
I know y'all wasn't ready, but that's the reason why it's important to have these conversations.
Oh, it's gonna be good now.
We're gonna appreciate that's right, because we get into the nitty gritty. I mean, this is E. I am bringing the chaos. I have no problem discussing these things. So while y'all feeling sensitive for me, I'm the one that want to have a conversation. So thank y'all so much for showing up. And with that in mind, I am so happy to also be able to bring on, we have a special guest today. Her name is Mrs. Bree. She is a wonderful woman who has a wonderful perspective on dating relationships herself. She is married. She will be talking about couples dynamics as well as herself, as someone in a couple. She technically knows all of us in some form or way. So this should be a very fun conversation. So Cam, can you go ahead and bring on our special guest Bree today?
Yay.
Bring it in place.
Hello, Bree. How are you doing today?
Hi, guys. I'm good. Good.
Yes. Thank you for being here. We're so excited to have you here. Like I said, I know me and you have had some conversations about different things in this realm, and your perspective is very beautiful. I mean, I love the mind that you bring to these conversations and the way that you think about how people should present themselves in relationships and how they should act. It's a wonderful. I know there's a story behind it. I'm not going to tell you to tell your whole marriage and couple story, but we will ask that question to really try to better understand, you and where you come from. So first and foremost, I'm going to kick it to you to say, welcome you and so happy. Bree, could you tell us a little about who is Bree and the married woman that she is today?
Okay, so you want to know about me or about married me? Me as an individual and as married me.
Right.
Okay. Me as an individual, I mean, yeah. I'm a creative. That's what I would say. I am inspired by poetry, so I'm writing a book on poetry. It's a poetry book. It's, I don't want to release too much. I don't want anybody taking it. So like everybody take my ideas in real life. But so like I'm doing a book right now, and that's a whole nother story. CT knows. It's like when you wrote a book for 10 years. And then I'm really into theater, really into singing. I sing at my church. I work, obviously. I don't know. I'm a very low key person. I'm about family, and I'm kind of like, as of late, like pretty much chilling at home, maybe just going out on date nights or whatever. But like as a wife, I would say, I do prioritize my relationship. It's one of my top priorities because I believe that really my husband's my peace. So, after like just a busy day, with kids, I have 2 kids. I have where are they now? A 10, well, let's say 9 and 11, going on 10 and 12, obviously. So they're like a lot of work, and there's a lot that goes into raising 2 young Black men. So it's a very exhausting job, but fulfilling. And so doing that and, going to work, and it's not a whole lot of time in the day. Yeah. But we always have to have ministry for our spouse at some point.
We do.
So as a wife, I have to minister to my husband more often than not, because I believe in different ways, obviously. Yeah. Because I think it's really important.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I clearly see the balance in you, from our conversations that, you do prioritize your marriage as well as your personal life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And your boundaries are set based in those things and your faith. So that is very apparent. And I definitely wanted to have you here in this conversation because, guys, I got some questions. Like, I do. Like, y'all have been successful at some things that I suck at, you know what I'm saying? And like, the best way to get better at things is to go to those people, that have success in these areas and try to learn or glean something from them so that you can learn how to acclimate yourself towards the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So I am sitting here with 3 people who are couples. And for Couples Appreciation Month, I want to start a question with, how do you appreciate your partner, and how are you appreciated by them? I'm gonna come to you, Johnny, first, and then we can go to CT and then Bree.
Okay, Bree, I'm just curious too, before I answer the question, how long have you been married?
Oh yeah, I should have said that. It'll be 18 years in May.
Okay, 18. Yeah. Gotcha.
18.
Wait, May what?
May 6th.
Okay,
Nice.
we're 18 in May as well, May 26th.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah,
Oh, y'all got some sixes in Mays. That's nice.
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, so how do I appreciate him? You know, honestly, I found out it took me a little while to find this out. But when it comes to appreciating Terry Easterling, you know what he appreciates the most is like little peace and quiet and being left alone. So when he really wants to just like truly show him appreciation, let Terry do Terry. And usually that is like down in the basement, watching sports. Don't try to get him to go to all the kids' things and the birthday parties and the grocery stores and all the stuff. Now, the thing about him, he will do anything in the world for us, for his girls. He would do absolutely anything in the world. But come football season, he's like, it's 12 o'clock. You already know what time it is. Why are you even like talking or here? Or like, what's happening? What do you want? So the best way I can show appreciation for him is to just let him do him. Right? Give him, and then throw him some seafood every now and again because that's his favorite. Just like toss it to him. He like, I'm good. And a beer, and a cold beer, and a martini. He's straight.
Oh my God! Why do I have this image of Terry like laying on the couch being thrown trips like?
And y'all know we just got a puppy. Like that's all I'm thinking about. But yeah, that's what he wants. That's just what he wants. Like, can you just leave me alone and just let me eat seafood and just leave me alone? But that's the way he appreciates, you know. And I'm sure, like anybody else, he likes to be told that, but that's not what really gets him. He appreciates it, like, okay, that's great, but like, can you just leave me alone? And then for me, it's funny because I'm just the opposite. I want the attention, you know, because I like to talk. Obviously. So I want to talk, I want to hang out, I want to have fun, but that's kind of been our thing that like really has kept us together is that we love to have fun together. So it's funny how like the way that we show appreciation to each other is kind of doing just the opposite of what the other one wants.
I'm gonna show you appreciation by listening to you.
And
you gonna show me appreciation by not being around for me to listen. I love
how it is in our house.
I'm telling you. See, I'm learning. I'm learning. I need to find me one that be like, hey, you know I like silence, right? I prefer it. It is my love language.
And because he knows that about, it's so cute though, because he knows that about me, he'll entertain me, you know, even if he watches sports, he'll tell me what's happening. We'll talk about it. He'll entertain me for a little while, but I can always tell when he stops listening. Like, he's tuned out. He's done.
You can always tell.
Yeah, he can always tell.
All right. Well, CT, what about you? How do you appreciate Queen Mel? How does she appreciate you?
There's so much in there's so much in fact. It's what Johnny said. Like, and now you got me back 2 episodes. Men and women, are we equal or not? Right. Like, I'm now messed up. Like I'm all the way back 2 weeks ago in the conversations we're having then. And then this whole idea, like your summation was brilliant. Just a minute ago, just absolutely epic. Like, I think it is important to remember that nobody is the same. And yet, when we have these conversations, there is so much that is exactly the same, which is really like blowing my mind right now. And like, you know, I don't know that on the appreciation side for us, I lean into the love languages, the 5 love languages that I think many of us have spent some time with, trying to understand how do we communicate what love looks like through our actions, and if it's, you know, words of affirmation or physical touch or whatever. I think ours has, over the last 26 years, have adjusted and changed, because I think depending on where people are in their station of life and what they've gone through and whether you have the kids and you have to take care of the kids, or if you're now empty nesters and you're like maneuvering through a different station in life, you might need something different than what it is that fed you before. And so I don't know that there is a script so much as it is a specific preference that if you do get, and here's the trick, Johnny, right? If you do get comfortable in thinking that the thing that you've always done is going to feed you now, that's the mistake that people make in relationships, is that like people continue to change. And if you're not changing, then something is wrong, because everybody is always changing. And it's the ability to recognize that the appreciation that I had for Mel back in the day, where she just loved gifts, like gifts was her thing. And so my like my default was trying to make sure that I fed her with gifts. And then when gifts wasn't enough, I was like, I was spending a whole lot of money and it wasn't feeding her. I was like, wait a minute, this is an expensive habit, right? So maybe it was, you know, she needed quality time then. So it's just the amount, it's the ability to be present with your partner in a relationship that allows you to say, wait a minute, what is it that that person needs at the time? And even for me, there are, you know, I'm in a season where, you know, physical touch and quality time in that context are the two priorities for me. I've never been a gifts guy, but yet sometimes, like for example, last year Mel bought me some golf clubs, and while her buying me golf clubs was a gift, it was like the quality time that I needed was going to be for me, because she doesn't play golf. So quality time doesn't always mean that you're the one that's giving the quality time, but she bought me a gift that allows me to now have quality time for myself. So it's the sensitivity of understanding that there is something underneath the thing that meets the need. And if you've been together long enough and you're listening long enough and you're present in the right way, then yeah, you're appreciating each other in a way that feeds the thing that is beyond the surface. So
I like it.
Like that.
I like it. All right. So okay. So you guys meet each other where your needs are for that appreciation. So depending on that space that you're in, when in the example that you gave, CT, you're you know, right now, physical touch, those affirmations, she's providing that. Now before, you know what I'm saying, you could have been, you know, when you're a little bit younger, a gift might have been the thing, like, hey, my girl stepped up. So I get it. And the fact that that is true for a lot of people, it's like, listen, love languages are real, right? But they also have cycles, right? Where somebody can over index in one, and then you're like, that doesn't hit the marker anymore. You know what I'm saying? You flowered me to death. Okay. Like, do something else. But in their mind, they're like, I've been giving you gifts. Like, why do I gotta listen? You told me you like flowers. You done got 1,000 flowers, and now you're done with flowers. Like, that means you don't like flowers to me. And I'll get to that type of relationship dynamic later, because first I want to hear, Bree, how do you appreciate your husband, and how does he appreciate you?
My husband, Brandon, let's say he has not evolved. Let's say that. I spoiled him, and so this is going to probably be embarrassing to him, but he has to be rubbed to bed, okay? And that is like a requirement. If you rub him to sleep, or at any point rub him in the day, he's happy. It's a stretch for me. It started out like that. And now I have to continue. It is hard. I've had people come up with ideas of how I could like mechanically use like a hand or something that mechanically
robot.
Because half the time I'm half sleep, like, you know, but he is a very physical touch type person. I have learned that I am not. I was the first probably few years of marriage, but I want to say after kids, I got very like, I don't want to be bothered. So, but I stretch myself in that area and make sure that I keep that up, because obviously that's what speaks to him. So if you get back rub ice cream, he's good. Me, I'm a foodie, like, so that's why, you know, Scotch with E is very important. Little plug there. Little plug. Yeah, food is my thing. So if you take me out to dinner wherever, I'm good. So I'm really not hard to please, to be honest. So that's pretty much it. We're simple.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, you know, it's not that I do or don't know Brittany or Bree, but it's possible that Brittany doesn't realize which show she's on, because she gave us the real, like, you know, I'm easy. Like, I need to text Brandon, like, yo, bro, I need you to join the
easy. Let's go.
There's things that, okay, let's get dirty. There are things. Well, I'm saying this to say there are things that he cannot minister to. And I don't know if this is a further question, but there's things that he can't minister to, and I know that.
Let's go.
And so I get those things from other places. For instance, I am stimulated by conversation. I like that, right? And I've had men misconstrue my desire to do that with them as like I like them, and it's like, no, this is just a stimulating conversation. But they misread the situation. I'm like, no, like I see you as a brother, but I like having good conversations, which I have with CT and E, right?
Yeah, right.
But I know that my husband can, have those conversations, but is that like his passion? No, he doesn't really like to talk like that, So it's okay that that's what I need, but I know where I can go get it. They're my mother and my best friend. Those are people that I can get those stimulating conversations. So if we want to get down and dirty, that's the area that he can't touch that I'm okay with.
That leads me into the next part of this, because we started with the appreciation, right? Because we do want to show how we show appreciation for each other. Now, on my front, guys, the way that I show appreciation for my partner is insert something here and make it make sense. All right. Now we're going to edit past that and show that there's nothing. Okay.
Put on my hood.
Somebody put it on, because I'm saying we just
nothing. I was going to say something. I'm not married. I'm not. No, that's not how that was. Y'all really thought I was going to say something. Come on now. This is me. All right. Now I know that when somebody in particular watches that particular section, she won't comment. It's fine.
What's her name?
I'm not about to say no. All right. So that does take me into the different dynamics of relationships that we have to account for, right? Like, for instance, Bree, you give an excellent example of there are some dynamics in a relationship, between couples where you have to mitigate your needs in places that your partner can't mitigate them, right? And those can create stresses, right? Because, for instance, I'll just ask a general question. Ladies, I'll ask the ladies this, and then CT, I'll come to you. Ladies, do you really think you could be happy in a relationship with the man that you couldn't trust and admire and respect?
What?
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Not even an option.
Not even an option.
Big words.
Yeah, I mean, but it's about CT, you're stupid. Those are not big words. But CT, could you be happy in a relationship with a woman who didn't provide you with a nurturing experience as well as a feminine place to be able to lay down your problems, as well as allow for you to feel comfortable to be the leader?
I can't with integrity say yes. I do think that there are moments and seasons in people's lives where they could have been one thing at one time.
Yes.
And depending on what's going on in their lives, they might be incapable in that moment or time to be that thing. And it doesn't mean you now abandon them as a result of them not being able to be what it is that you need. To Brittany's point, which I think is so powerful, is that when we require someone to be all the things, they will fail
every time. Come on, CT, every single time.
So
CT, I agree with that.
Right? So your question, and I like the words you use, I actually classify those words as deep water words. Like trust, how can something like a word like trust be so deeply fragile? But in any minute can just crumble and crush. Like you can't have something be that important and be that fragile.
Yeah.
It just can't. Right? So you can't put your trust in something that will break that quickly or that easily. So I don't put my trust in a person. I don't put my trust in a man. I got to put my trust in God, because that's the thing I know that won't ever fail. What I do is go back to like last week. Like I might put my belief in somebody, and my belief is knowing that they're gonna fail, but I'm not putting my faith in them, right? Because I have to acknowledge, man, that there is something crazy about the human condition that says everybody every day has the opportunity to change. And because of that, I honor that they are growing because of that change. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't want to cut you off, E. I had something to say.
No, go for it. Go for it. Go ahead, Joe.
I just really want to touch on too what you were saying, CT, about how maybe there's a season in life that you change or you can't necessarily hold that particular title or adjective or whatever. Terry and I were just talking about this. It was like, in our relationship, how do you feel? Do you feel like it's 50-50? I said, I feel like it's 50-50 because it is not 50-50 all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So there were times in our relationship where he was in school, he was getting his master's degree, and the girls were little. Actually, I think Jay was just little. So, like, when you get in your degree, you like doing everything. Then I went back to school when the girls got a little older. I got my graduate degree. So guess who was doing like everything? Cooking dinner, going to the grocery store, I make the list. He was picking up the girls, doing everything because I didn't have the capacity to be able to do it. So that's why I think it's 50-50, because you can't always. And so when you said the word leader, E, I'm really like teetering on that word. And plus, y'all know how I am too. I am I'm like, he's the leader. But
who's changing the light bulb? No, go ahead.
I know. Right. Who's changing the light bulb? He definitely is, and cut the grass. But yeah, so it kind of changes a little bit depending on what space or what season we're in. I love that word, what season we're in, right?
Okay. I mean,
and now I'm traveling a lot for work. So guess who's gonna be doing all the cooking and all this stuff and take care of the dog and all? He's gonna be doing it. So it's like,
yeah, I definitely agree with all of those sentiments, and the reason why I can clearly understand that you guys all agree with that is because you're in these wonderful committed relationships that allow for you to be able to have these ebb and flows, to be able to say that I'm not the leader right now, honey, because CT, originally to the question, your wife created that nurturing feminine space for you to be the leader and then be able to allow her to lead when you needed to. So you had to have that in order to be married, and y'all had to have what y'all needed in order to stay happy. I mean, to get married. But then once you're there, of course, it is about the compromise, right? Well, I want to ask you guys, like, in the current dating market, do you think that your children's dating opportunities will have the same mindsets as you? And do you think that said compromise will easily come? I'll start with you, CT.
I thought you were going with Brittany. I haven't heard from Brittany yet. Bree should probably go here.
Nope. Look, I'm shielding her from certain questions and giving y'all these questions. Then I'll give them to her because that's what we talked about backstage. That's what we talked about backstage to help her out. Okay.
What was the question again? So, like,
I'm not even about to answer.
not that I would ever, in any way, shape, or form, want to speak on behalf of any other human being. It is so my middle son sent me a question the other day. Like, this is real time. Like, I didn't know you were going to ask this question, but he sent me a question the other day, which had a little depth to it. He says, there are rarely any paved roads in the world of relationships where all you have is gravel and mud. And I was like, man. Like, and I didn't know how to answer that right away, because there is a depth to that, because we track in this world of analogies and metaphors, etc. And there is not a road, I think, relationally, that I have been on that has been smooth. There have been places where it's been less bumpy, but it has always been smooth. And the truth of the matter is, every smooth road started as something bumpy until it was mixed with something that made it smooth. And so I think the journey of life that we're on creates a smoother road, but to the extent that in today's society, because there's access to information and that people aren't patient enough to work through what is hard. So when the road gets rocky and it's bumpy, do you have the patience, perseverance, and the intestinal fortitude to recognize that it's not about you in this moment? Maybe it's about your ability to recognize they're going through something, and what they're there for is because you have what they need to help them through this bumpy road. But most people, it's just about themselves. And because it's about themselves, they don't recognize the necessity that we are in this thing together. And when we're doing life together, that's what makes the road smoother. I'm gonna pause right there because I'm feeling my help.
You know, I like I like that. I like that, but CT, you ain't gonna you ain't gonna be there at that point when that question come to your son about, do you think in the current dating market, the compromise that you all talked about that you have in your relationship, do you think that's available to him? That's more of a have you, all right, matter of fact, let me level set the current dating market. Are you guys familiar with it's like? Let's see a raise of hands. Have you actually seen what it's like out here?
I'm gonna do it like this.
Yeah, that's enough. You said by proxy?
By proxy.
By proxy. Okay. And you giving me like the Hunger Games thing over here.
I only know a little bit. This is all I want to know about what's happening out there in this dating market.
All right. Well, let me just give a couple of little statistics so we know what's really happening out as far as dating goes, right?
Data? Did he say statistics?
Yeah,
yes, he did.
He did. Got a little Johnny in him with the little. Come on.
There's like almost an 80% divorce rate. 80.
Okay.
Primarily they're filed by women, and it's there's a bunch of reasons why. That's not a problem. Maybe 50 or so percent of like single African American men are like, they're single with no kids, like, right? But then and then women are like, there's like a whole bunch of single parented women that have kids, and there's like this really big mess of like expectations of who should do what and who should pay for what. And like you can't take a woman to the Cheesecake Factory because
I know we keep bringing that. I know.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like
that still hurts.
There's all of these crazy things where it's like, listen, all right, I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is so funny. I watched this video, right, where this guy was like, hey, what's your ideal first date? What's your ideal first date? Young lady. You can tell she's in college. She's wearing Crocs. So I don't think she's the smartest because I don't know about Crocs. But again, not a judgment of Crocs.
They're the most comfortable things in the world.
Yeah, again, when you got your
I hate how they look though.
Yeah, you got your feet in mittens. Okay, that's fine. I just want you to know. And they got a sports mode. It's disrespectful. All right, so just call them slides. All right, this really cool slides. They got to be something. Anyway. This young lady proceeds to explain what her ideal first date is. She says, I want to be taken on a yacht. And I want a private chef. And then I want an all expense paid trip to Cancun. And I want I want 1,000 roses, and I want $100 wrapped on all of the roses, and I want a Birkin bag sitting at the table. That's what I want as a first date.
Oh wow!
First,
but what was the question?
Like a proposal,
right? Was the question the ideal first date?
Ideal. What's your ideal first date? And that's what she said. A yacht.
Did anyone ask her how much she can afford?
Oh no!
Could she do that for herself?
Oh no! Oh no! See now,
of course not.
No, because we don't have those conversations, and that's what's the hard part about the dating market now. If somebody comes to me, and I'm a single guy, right? So if a woman comes to me and they're like, oh, you got to be able to take me on a $600 dinner. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I should be able to get $600 out of you. Now I'm wrong.
Let me tell you something real quick. My first date with my husband, one of my first dates, was at a McDonald's. Yeah. To be really honest with you, it didn't matter where we were because I knew I liked that man and I wanted that man. Yes. So it could have just been at a park sitting on a bench and I would have been fine. And so call me old school, but somebody throwing something at you in the beginning is not, if there's no sustainability, it doesn't mean it's going to be consistent. People love bomb and do all those things in the beginning. Right. And then they're so exhausted, by the time it gets to the real situation. Yeah. So I think, let it be organic. And just save your money, because baby, if we about to be together, I need you to save your coins.
That part,
so that we can, get some, some good things going when we really do make this thing official. But I don't think people really think future; they just think for now and for what they want now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's actually kind of sad. Like they look at it like, what can I get out of you in this relationship? Not what can I bring to you.
Agreed. I agree with that, because one of the things I always say when I, like kind of interview, because it is when I conduct my interview in in-depth due diligence on ladies, I ask a few very specific questions that kind of are very telling, right?
I want to know.
Here we go. All right.
You want to know? So me and CT, we want to know, what are those questions?
Yep, let's go.
Y'all are goofy. Number one, what is it that you think a man wants in a relationship?
And what are the answers you get?
Yeah, thank you. What are the answers?
I don't know. I mean, I ain't never thought about it. I mean, why would I think about what a man wants? That's what I get.
That's not okay.
Hold on, wait. You
answer that
asked?
question.
Yes. And you know what?
The only answer.
The only answer that I really get is food, cleaning, sex, and those are really it. Otherwise, it's I don't know. And I'm like, we don't never.
What else is there? I'm just playing. I'm playing. Exactly. And quiet. They just got quiet. That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
I mean, do you need anything else? If you need something else, you're asking for too much.
Excuse me. Let's go ahead and level set here, Johnny. As a grown man, do I not already have to do all of those things myself and take care of those things? Would you not expect those things of me if you came into a relationship with me?
Okay, I take food off of that for you because you can throw that out. So, but everything else, I mean, yeah. What else you
well, okay.
So
I mean, that'd be nice.
Are you looking for?
No, we're talking about relationship dynamics. Okay,
right.
So
are you looking for somebody to bring you something that you can't give yourself?
Well, not necessarily. I need to be able to sustain myself, and then somebody should be able to add to what I already do. Now, if I'm looking for somebody to be able to complement the me that I be, and then if we're going to be evenly yoked, then if there are things that I'm deficient in, then I would look to that person to either be more proficient in it and be able to trust and believe that my partner is going to be able to help us go on the same path. That's what I'm looking for.
So what's your expectation outside of food, sex, and what's the other one? What's the third one? Because I ain't been out in the streets for a minute, because you gave 3 and I apologize.
Yeah,
I mean,
I said quiet.
No, that's the answer they gave, right? Or is that?
I mean, that's the answers they gave. Yeah, that's the answers they gave. That's not my answer.
They gave. He's like, then if he doesn't have a different expectation, like I'm curious.
I do have a different expectation. I mean, I don't need somebody to come cook for me. I don't need somebody to come clean for me. I don't need somebody to do my basic adult stuff.
Then what are
you fishing in a pond that's feeding what it is that you already do for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, but if we're not functioning adults, don't we all do that for ourselves?
Oh, there's a much deeper conversation around the words function.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, like, if we're talking about relationship dynamics, like initially when you meet, especially at the ages that I am right now, like,
how old are you?
43. I just turned 43 in March. At 43, if there are some basic things that you're not capable of doing, and I meet you, yes, I may be meeting you where you are, but will you be evenly yoked with me if you can't take care of those basic things? If all you can offer me is what I already got myself, then how are you complimenting me?
Yeah.
I have so much. Johnny, I feel like there's something that I need you to seed into my brother.
I know, I'm trying.
No. There's nothing to see here, because y'all keep looking at me. But what I'm telling y'all is,
you're right. Okay.
You have to look outside, because if you go outside of me, right, and look at what I'm looking at, what you'll end up seeing. Have you ever been on social media and just like scrolled and see, like, as a guy, you know what all we see on there is like booties and naked women, and like that's what it sends us. And I'm not even liking it or anything. But then these are the same women who want me to show them the respect, and they're called queens and all this stuff.
Too, for men, like I'm not seeing gentlemen on the internet either.
No, you're not.
No. Like, so forget social media.
Right.
It's like real life.
Well, but I would say that with you, Johnny, because that's how y'all got married. Y'all met in real life. And in today's current dating market, you can't forget
online
social media. It is a part of your relationship dynamic. How else do you learn about the people that you're meeting besides seeing what their social media profiles are, right? Like I've had to vet women and look on their profiles and be like, dang, I gotta disqualify you because you out here thirst trapping. You out here seeking attention.
Bree, how did you meet Brandon?
How did I meet him?
How'd you meet Brandon?
Yeah, through a friend. Yeah, not on social media. Yeah.
Johnny, how'd you meet Terry?
In the after school program at his school, at his job, while he was working.
I met my ex-wife working at Capital University in person. So it was a totally different thing, when we got to meet and really connect with people. But today's relationships are not that way. The way that we connect is through social media and these social networks, which allow for you to mask and curate who you want to present. And then until you've done that work and dug through the BS, you don't find the real person.
And can I go back to your original question though, really quick? Like just to say, from my perspective, I think that we are really struggling, and I hate to add another layer to what we're already talking about. I think that a lot of people are struggling with identity. And with that being said, with my sons, I mean, and this is just to bring the real element to the conversation, I feel like you're going to have to do a whole, and I think I might have said this to CT, like, I think you would have to do an entire womb check. Like you're going to have to go and make sure that this person has a womb, because at the end of the day, people are confused about just who they are, even like, am I a boy, am I a girl, am I whatever? And then what type of sexuality they are, and what type, like there's so many like genders and sexualities and all this other things. And so you're bringing such a complicated element to the relationship just by not really knowing who you are. And then you also have the layer of being on social media and you present yourself one way. Like when I was on social media, I'm not anymore because it made me nauseous. But when I was on Facebook, it was like I saw the representatives, because when I would in person, you're nothing like that. And I know that you don't really go those places. And I know you did some photoshopping and different things like that. So it's like there's so many layers that I think it's going to be really hard for my sons because they're growing up with parents who are the older millennials who've kind of been through the different layers of life. And I knew about the typewriter. They don't know what a typewriter is. I knew about the rotary phone. They're like, what's a rotary phone? Like, they don't know the things that I know. And so they don't have that, like they do because of me. But for those kids whose parents are stuck in their phones all day, they're not really going to know how to navigate relationships, if at all. Because if we're seeing people are getting married later and later, or not at all.
Yeah.
Or not at all. I mean, my aunt, she's 50. Well, not my aunt. I call her my aunt because she's older. But she's my cousin. She's almost 60 years old. She's a virgin. And she's never really been in a relationship because she was like, really, when she started to get into the dating market, she's like, this is scary. This is so scary out here. There's like slim pickings.
Yeah.
Brittany, you said you made a statement. You said representative. What's a representative?
Oh, well, tell them who the representatives are.
The representative is just who you present yourself to be. Like if online you are this curvy woman, you got your stuff together, you got your finances together. Oh, look, I'm on a trip, blah, blah, blah. But in person, like your house is dirty. You really ain't got that body that you've photoshopped. You know what I'm saying? You got fake designer, just faking for the gram. That's your representative. So you're presenting to men that you got it all going on. But then once they date you, they see that you're trifling, you're broke, and you trying to get a handout. Basically, you're that girl that wants the yacht and the stuff that he was talking about, because you can't. You come on. Yeah. You don't really have it. And it's okay if you don't have it. Don't present yourself. And then me and E talked about this, I think, before too. It's like they lead with their behind. It's like, what's your face look like? Why? We are not dogs. Why are we presenting our behinds first? Like, we don't sniff each other. Yeah, I don't understand.
It's literal, because like Like if I'm on a dating app, right? And like you swipe and you'll see a picture of a face and you'll see a picture of a butt. You're like, all right. So I'm sorry, like this is exactly what it is. It's like you're window shopping, like, all right, she's gonna show me everything, bathing suit photos, and anybody can join this and see this. Why are you putting this out for everybody to see? Is this the only thing you have? Because it's the only thing that you've presented. Now, I think it, I mean, I do think that it comes down to a bunch of different factors, right? I mean, of course, there's no one answer for, why people are the way they are. But the one factor that I think that this generation focuses on, because social media has made it so important, is lifestyle. I myself have dated someone who presented online one lifestyle, and then when I actually was with them, they did not live that lifestyle. They didn't even live close to that lifestyle. Okay. And the expectation was I was supposed to come in and sustain the visuals of that lifestyle by actually propelling you to where you present yourself at. So if I come to you, you have no car. Guess what? Now we together, you driving my car. That means you have a car. When I got with you, you didn't live. You lived in the hood, but now I live in such and such. So now you're bragging about where you live. So it's me who has this lifestyle. But now that you're with me, now you have that lifestyle. Yeah. And there are even women that are dating men who have done nice things for them. They've been in full-fledged relationships and all of that. And then when the guy's done, he's like, nah, man, I'm good. These women are like, well, hey, but you still got to sustain my lifestyle. I don't have anything. You got me this apartment in Miami. You need to keep paying the rent. You need to keep sending me money. No, honey, we're done. You need to get out of that apartment. You can't afford it. You can't afford your lifestyle. But the expectation is, no, you're supposed to pay it. So there is this thing about lifestyle that the social media aspect just presents to everybody that becomes 100% ingrained in your dating. People are looking at you. I mean, there are people who be like, oh, I see you traveling and eating and all this stuff. I'm like, huh? Like, I don't even know how many people know all the stuff that I do. And I don't even really pay attention that much because it's like, I'm just doing me. I don't care about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I would go eat regardless. I would go travel regardless. But to other people, they're seeing me live this glamorous lifestyle. You have this wonderful life. I'm like, I'm a normal person. You're inflating what I'm doing by you fantasizing about what you think you should be doing based on you trying to be like me. Your life is your life. My life is my life. I would never meet somebody and expect them to, up my life to be where they are. But that's what we're dealing with now. Your kids, guys, are going to be meeting people who are going to have expectations on them that will never match the ones that you had when you met your partners. And we have to work out how we weaponize the truth of how to have a healthy relationship and how to set up healthy relationship dynamics so that you can be in a healthy relationship. So I said all to say, I know we've been going for a while, but CT, I'm going to ask you. I got to ask you again because I really want to dig into you because you the one, you always going to give me, Bree gave me everything I needed. You already know, she knows what's going on out here. Johnny only got the, she like, I don't know much. I don't know much. Well, now, matter of fact, no, Johnny, I got to come to you because you got teenage daughters. And they're
I want to hear from Johnny on this one.
And they're dating. So how are you preparing your daughters for the dating market when you know that there is this whole thing called a cell phone where people are like trying to get your kids to send nudies and all this crazy? This is the world we live in now. Yeah. How are you helping your daughters prepare for their future relationships?
Oh my gosh, E, that is such a great question because it's a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. Like, I think that's one reason why I'm so like pro I am woman, hear me roar. You know what I mean? Like, you're in control. You hold the power. All of those things. I do that as well. A whole lot of prayer. A whole lot of like setting that example between me and my husband, like so that they see. Like there's been times that my daughter has said, Mom, when I do get older and have a real relationship, like I want a relationship like you and Dad. Like y'all are like friends and y'all argue all the time like sister and brother. Like y'all have fun together. That's what I want. So setting that example. And then also reminding them and also checking all of their social media too. I'm in inboxes, I'm in deleted folders, I'm in the trash, I'm in other things. Now there's still I'm not naive enough to think that there's some things that still don't slide by me that I don't see, but that's where my faith comes in. And like, God, you got to take care of the rest when I'm not able to see it for real. But like, and just really reminding them like some of that stuff is not real. Right, most of it is not real. At this age, a lot of people are just like posting like they think they're so cool. That's the stuff that they get. And I'm like, and then you meet him like he's really not cool at all. He's not cool. Yeah, he's super lame.
He's a
bum.
bum.
Like, oh my God, Mom, he's so lame. I'm like, yeah, I could tell. I could tell he was lame.
Such a lame.
Right, and that's the kind of conversations me and Terry are having. Like, he's super lame. We could tell when we saw the shoes he had on, he was lame. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, it's a little bit of all of that, and not to like. I mean, I don't know, and I think it's really great that they have both parents in the home, and they have a great father to be able to look at that example and see, like, oh, wait a minute, this is what real looks like. You know what I mean? So hopefully they have that to compare to. But I know I'm all over the place, but honestly, that's how I kind of feel when it comes to answer your question. And sometimes I feel like I'm all over the place because it's really hard. It's really hard because they're in a world that we weren't in, to your point.
Not at all.
We met each other face to face and was like, oh, and Terry said, hey, would you like to go out on a date? Uh-oh, did we lose her?
Yeah, we're going to find out what happened.
Okay.
Can we get her back?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, like
it's hard.
Can I only imagine. Go for it.
I got it. Like, this is going to be probably our first 2-hour pod. Not that we want to go 2 hours. There she is. Like, not that I want us to say, hey, Bree, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. My
internet was like, no. Okay, sorry, guys.
The internet recognized what we was about to go. It was like, don't do it.
Right away. Leave, Bree.
So I want to, like, there's layers to everything that we do and everything that we say. And so as we have talked about the maturity of our pod, as we've talked about the maturity of the conversations that we have, Bree, I'm glad you're here. I'm so grateful that you have a perspective that helped give us context for something that is from a cultural perspective, something we don't always like to talk about. From a Christian perspective, we never love to talk about. But the reality of how we lean in every single day is sometimes the journey that our children are supposed to take, just like we were supposed to take. That when we become too protective, when we try to guard them from the thing that maybe that's exactly what it is they're supposed to be learning, because the design of their life needs that to help them get to wherever it is they're supposed to go. Amen. Johnny, I think we would, I would argue that I was a great model of a male figure in my daughter's life. Was always pregnant, went to her dance stuff, loved on her, whatever. And she found a relationship with a gentleman that was not anything like me. And there was nothing I could do about that, except for when it didn't go right, I needed to be able to be, and I'll use this term very carefully, I had to be a restorer of the breach, right? So the breach was broken. And when it was time for her to become, in the biblical sense, the prodigal child that came back, I needed to still be okay with her coming back, even in that moment in time. That's for male children. That's for our daughters. Like it's the ability to recognize that sometimes, y'all, like, life is supposed to happen. And if we're never going through life, how do we learn? How do we grow? Somebody sent me a message earlier this week and said, Christopher, as it relates to your career, ... growth never comes in comfortability. And I was like, I'm not comfortable at all. But when I think about the future facing, like, place of where I'm supposed to go, it's like, no, never get comfortable. And I think, I believe, two different words. I believe that life presents us opportunities where really stupid, crappy, other words, stuff happens, not because we
Yeah.
wanted it to, not because we designed it to, and not even always is because we chose it to, but it's there for us to be able to really begin to understand how do we center ourselves on understanding, thank you, Brittany, who we are and finding some identity, and to figure out who is around us, who's in our, as we've talked about many times on this pod, who's in our circle. Like, who are the people in the neighborhood that when we're going through it, are they there and available for us? With our children, when they're going through it and they make the wrong choice about the person that they want to spend a lot of their time with, and we know they're not supposed to be there. We know they're not good for them. We know that's bad seed and it's gonna mess them up for like we don't like 90 days or 9 years. Like, we don't know those things, and so our job, our responsibility is to say there is a lived experiences that we have that is, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. There was a situation I remember very distinctly where somebody was gonna make a decision, and somebody came to me and said, "Are we gonna stop this?" And I said, they are an adult. We cannot stop this. Our job is to be there for them when it goes wrong, because we all know it's going to go wrong.
Gonna go wrong.
What we going to do when they are now like, oh my gosh, this went wrong. What do we do? And so I think that becomes like, as we think about the relational dynamics, the secret isn't so much in the choice. It is, once the choice has been made and you're journeying through it, and it doesn't go right, or it does go right, who's around you to make sure that you can continue to make better choices or be able to enhance the choices that you've made so your life becomes better. That's my headset on this, like where we're at.
CT, I just got to say, I love what you just said, because that is like what I've been thinking about so much lately, having teenage daughters, because I have to remind myself, like, well, first of all, think about my past and the decisions that I've made and how my parents were just there. I have a great father. He would set the example, all the stuff. And I made some mistakes. And some of the people I may have dated in the past is like, what in the world is she doing? What is she thinking here? You know what I'm saying? But they were always there, always supportive. And also too, you talked a little bit about being too protective. This is the world that they live in. So, I could act like, take away social media, don't ever be on there. And, there are times that we monitor it and all the things like that. But like, this is the world that they live in, and they have to know how to behave and present themselves in this world, because it ain't going away.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. It's only going to grow and be more of it. So I love that you said that, just about like, you do have to be really conscious of like how protective you're truly being, because they have to know. Something happened a couple weeks ago and Terry was like, well, Jay, you have to know how to handle this on your own. You're going to be out of our house next year. So what are you going to do when it happens then? How are you going to handle it? And it's like, oh my God, it was killing me. So I'm like, no, you fix it. Don't tell her to fix it. You got to fix it. But he was right. He was absolutely right. So that was really good. And Bree, I'm really interested in what about you and your boys? They're a little younger than my girls, but like, you have two gentlemen.
Yeah, two black men in these streets. I would say two things, because I love what both of you just said, and I'm gonna even give like another perspective on top of that. Please. Like, I've said this before, like, to a lot of people, when we failed, it was a different world, right? And it's like right now, you actually can't afford to be with the wrong person, because it could mean your life. Like, and there's a lot of people killing single women and their kids. Yeah. There's a lot of demons around here. So what I've been teaching my kids more than anything and trying to help equip them with is discernment. Discernment. Okay. And it's like, that is the word in my house, and my kids are so young, but already nauseated with hearing it, because you need to understand, like, when they run in the house and they tell me somebody did something, and it's on a consistent basis, and every time they get around this particular person, X, Y, and Z is always happening. What I'm teaching my kids is, okay, is this someone you should have around you? Because every single time you get around them, you're in trouble. You get a pink slip. Somebody's yelling at, there's a fight. Somebody, blah, blah, blah. And I think if you can really start to instill in your kids, not only to discern it, but the empowerment to walk away. The empowerment to say, you are not good for me. If I could get that in them right now, when it's time for relationship, they can say, oh, I've already learned this. Mom already taught me this. You're a hot mess. You're drama. Just recently, I offboarded. I call it offboarding. And I think I told CT about this. I offboarded somebody in my life so quick. I had just met her.
This is epic.
And she was offboarded within 8 months because it was like, when you came into my life, I almost could have ended up in a jail somewhere. Ooh. And that never happened to me. And so it was like, bye, boo. Bye-bye. And so that's what I'm teaching my kids, discernment. Discern, and then empowerment to walk away.
Yeah.
The empowerment piece is crucial.
Yes. Now I love that. I love that, Bree, because that is the tool you have to have out here. Out here in these streets, y'all, your discernment is off. You will be dissected. Somebody is coming for you. Somebody, listen, somebody's coming for you.
I believe it.
Somebody is always like, you don't even know how many people is playing ninja behind you, watching everything you do.
Listen,
and they never say nothing, whatever. Like, you have a whole fan base of stalkers that's never liked any of your posts or whatever, but they secretly in love with you. So yeah, it's wild out here. You need to have discernment. But I think the key piece that you called out that I know I mastered pretty well is like that ability to just be able to walk away. Like I'm sorry, like I am really good at walking away from stuff. I will walk away from, I will drop stuff on the ground and walk away. Be like,
you're consistent there. You're consistent there. You've shared that.
Yeah.
I mean, because if I run into these things and I'm like, wait, hold up, I live a certain way. I don't have drama. Yes, I have chaos because I like to create it, but that chaos is within reason and fun. Like my chaos is me opening these bottles behind me and playing and dancing in my own house. This is safe. I paid my bills is paid. All my bills is paid. My car is paid off. Everything about me is set, right? So I have the freedom to do all of the craziness that I choose to do because I've worked hard in all of these other avenues. Right. Yeah. So why would I invite somebody into my life, into my sanctuary, and you bring nothing but drama, and craziness to the door? And it's like, hold on, wait. No, I don't want this. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and tell it because like I wasn't gonna tell it, but like, all right. So I talked to this girl last week, literally last week.
What's her name?
I'm not telling her name. I'm not telling her name. All right. I talked to this girl last week.
Cut it out. Say it and let Cam cut it out.
No, I'm just telling the story just so that you guys can like hear this story. Okay. So I talked to this girl last week and I was trying to understand like some of the things that she was talking about with dating, right? And I'm like, well, all right, cool. So like, tell me about your experience with dating. And she was like, all right, like I'm one of those girls who got her stuff together and this, that. And like instantly when I hear this stuff, I'm like, oh my God, please don't say these words. Like I'm an alpha woman. Okay. I had to stop her there. I was like, alpha woman, I'm sorry, but what is that? Like, well, I'm somebody who, I take care of myself and I pay my bills. And I said, that's just an adult. We don't have to add different stuff to it. Like we don't have to, I'm just saying, I'm just like, because you're describing an adult. Thank you, but I don't know what alpha has to do with that. I don't even know why you're adding it because it's something in this ethos of dating where women are like, oh, I'm an alpha and I'm a boss and I'm a baddie, I'm a bad B, and I'm like, why would I want to deal with a bad B? Mm-hmm. Why would I want a boss chick? Like none of these things sound like appealing at all to somebody who's like, hey, hold up, y'all. Like, I just like to chill. Like, yes, I'm about my business. I get my business done. I'm peaceful. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I like to do my thing. But everything that you're saying all sounds combative. And it all sounds like argumentative and aggressive. That is nothing appealing to me. So I'm just listening. And I'm like, all right, well, first and foremost, like, you're very aggressive in your words. Like, so, like, as a guy just talking to you, like, I feel like I'm talking to a guy. Like, I feel like we're trying to, like, this is a peeing contest right now. And you got, what? I mean, what? I pay my bills. I got a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take care of my kids. I'm like, are we talking about like your experience dating? Or are we talking about how you try to pop off at every man that you meet? Like, I'm trying to understand. So needless to say, like, you know, we go through these like things and she's explaining whatever. And then like the nitty gritty in the same conversation. I don't know. This is a bad habit that I have. Okay. Any woman that talks to me automatically starts to expose their insecurities. I have no idea what happens. I like at some point in the conversation, it just goes like, all right, so I'm gonna tell you all the terrible things about me. I don't even know. I just met you.
To talk to E.
Yeah, but in the first conversation, you in the first conversation, we went from you an alpha chick, blah blah blah, to well, technically, I got fired from my job and I live with my mother. What?
All the dynamics, yeah.
But would you rather know up front?
Well, but you just told me in the same conversation a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
We started because it was about the lifestyle and all this stuff. You know, I do this and I eat good and I only drink champagne and I'm just listening and I'm like, okay. People call me bougie. Hey, but you know what though? What I'm trying to point out is that this woman was so deluded in the way that she saw herself. But then when she had to be honest, everything was the counter. And it's like, you won't even objectively look at yourself and hold yourself accountable to what you're presenting to anybody. Yeah. So I'm always going to be wrong to be the person to walk away because I'm the guy that will be like, well, excuse me, ma'am, let me stop you there. Well, one, it sounds like you're not bougie. It sounds like you're broke. It sounds like you are a problem. It sounds like your license is probably suspended because you said that your tags are still expired. Like, you know, I'm listening to all of these things that you've told me, and I'm only telling you what you've told me back. And I'm saying none of these things. I literally said, it sounds like you trying to date is chaotic. I like chaos, but who would want to date that? She was like, I didn't think about it that way. I was like, well, I'm going to leave you with those thoughts and good luck to you as you continue to pursue learning.
Thank you for your interview. You're not getting hired.
No, there's no job. There's no job here, okay? You walked yourself out of a job, but this is really the market that your kids are going to be like, hey, I'm going to meet this person. You can be like, blah, blah, blah. And they be like, well, hold on. I gotta daggone do a CIA research on this person because let me see his social media profile. I need to see who you really are. I need to meet your parents. I like all of the things we used to do to really kind of vet. Because I remember, like back in the day, you didn't meet no girl. You couldn't call no girl your girlfriend unless you met their parents. Like I met a lot of dads and mothers in my life to be like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. In order to even talk to that girl on the phone, I had to go through them. But now,
but see, you're in a different age bracket, E. Now, like it's a whole different age bracket because before you were in your early 20s, it's a little different, you know. I think now
I'm in that sweet spot. You already know I'm in that sweet spot. Listen, I'm in that sweet spot, y'all. I can go 20. I can go 15 up. I can go 15 down. I can do whatever I want to.
So are you talking to like 20-year-olds? Are they like in their 20s and just establishing?
Nah, like I at least try to. Like my son's 23, so I at least try to give a couple years after that. Like, all right, you got at least be like a
couple. Let me drink.
I'm just saying though, like. Almost 30, like you got to be 30, 29.
Did you say 50, Johnny?
You need to go to 50.
Yeah, I think you need to get somebody that has a 401k that is established, that has her life plan already done, her retirement set up.
Yeah, they'd be like, come here, baby.
Yes.
I call BS.
I knew you wanted to talk because you didn't have that face.
On the 50-year-old, what'd you call the BS on?
Stay here.
Because you ain't been out here in these streets in a long time. What you call the BS on?
As they say, I'm sitting in this pod and I'm listening to it. And I'm
I could tell.
Here we go.
Right. We talk about we sensationalize how we met. We sensationalize that this idea that because we met in person, that we showed up as our real and true and authentic and unique selves. That's crap. We sure didn't. We showed up just like people show up on the internet. It's just a different way of showing up. I did not know my credit score or my flaws when I was talking to Melanie. When we met, we showed our very best based upon what we had. And the only thing we had to communicate was what we saw in person. And so what I learned over time is that there is more I need to learn. I'm 26 years in the game and I'm still learning some stuff. And I can't let us go through this conversation and be like, we are old, talking like we like a baby boomer, talking about this is how we did when we did it. Brittany, you said it right. It's a different way of doing it. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. They just have access to more information. And so when I was listening to you talk about old girl, I was like, she is both things. She is the person that she wants to be based upon who she presented to you, because however you presented yourself, that was the only way you was going to be able to spend the time to talk with her. Because if she showed up in her other self, you wouldn't even given her the time of day. And now she knows that to be true. Showed you that other person, you like, I ain't got no time for you. Can we talk real in this room?
I love that.
Like, let's be real clear. Like, the reality for us is there are two things that are true at the same time. There is this Clark Kent Superman thing that keeps going on every time, and when I'm with you and things are good, I'm Superman. But when things aren't bad, I'm gonna give you my Clark Kent, and I'm the quiet, and I'm the person that's not showing. Like I need us.
That's not my testimony.
Here,
I'm with you, CT. I'm with you. This actually popped into my head as we were talking too. A couple things. One, when I first met Terry, I was like, oh, and then a couple months in, he was like, he told his best friend, like, I mean, she cool, but she got an attitude. like she always got something smart to say. And y'all that know me, is that true? That's true. But that first date, I wasn't getting off. You know what I'm saying? I was presenting my best self. Yes. And I also think that a little bit. I don't want to take it too far, but I think a little bit about social media. You think I'm going to show everything on social media? No, I'm going to show my best self, because that's what social media is for. Yes. Social media is for me doing yoga poses, saying, yeah, because what else is social media? Social media is supposed to be me and my husband in an argument? No, it's supposed to be us out on a date night, like date night, playing pool. Like, that's what social media is for. Now, people who know me know, like, okay, here's some real conversations, what it is. So I do agree with what you were saying on that part, CT, for sure. All
right, I'm gonna go to you, Bree, because I can.
Yeah, because I want to hear.
I don't know. I feel like we're all in the same vein, right? But I think where what E was talking about was, it's a little bit more extreme than what you guys think it is. Really is extreme. It really is. People are struggling mentally right now. It really is like that. And it's like mental illness is at an all-time high. And so you're getting, someone who is struggling. I don't want to come against like different, mental, because mental health is very serious. But I think a lot of people are like tripping out right now. And I think that's kind of what he's seeing when somebody's talking. It's like, well, you don't want to present that at first, but I feel like you would know if it was like authentic. Like for me, like Johnny, if I seen your social media, of course, I don't want to see you like arguing. I wouldn't see any of those things. I would just see you living your real authentic life.
Yeah.
And I think what he's going through, he's saying that it's extreme. Like, you really don't live this life. You're photoshopping. You're doing things that are not, it's not true. It's not true how you're living. You're a totally different person. Like, your backdrop is the one section of your house that looks amazing,
and everything else is
then everything else is disgusting. Like, a girl I knew, one of her little half baths was her like junk room, and she threw things in a bathroom, and it was stacked to the ceiling almost. So that's what I'm saying. Like, but also to that point, I will say, I feel like when I met my husband, I was myself. I was silly. The only difference is I was a lot more, lovey-dovey, da-da-da-da. But like I said, after kids, it was like, oh, I'm tired. But I believe I brought myself. But I do believe, and this is for you, E, that you get a little bit deeper into knowing a person intimately, especially if y'all have a soul tie. You start to get into the meat of a person and getting deep over time, usually. And so that's when you start to see those things over time. I think you'll learn about a personality more as time goes on. Like, Johnny, you probably, you've always had that attitude, but you have that dopamine phase where you're excited about the person. And you're like, hey, nice to meet. Oh my gosh, you're new, blah, blah, blah. And then once somebody becomes like family, it's like you get comfortable.
Yeah.
And like I tell people, like my husband sees the real me, because it's like he gets to see the ugly. He gets to see, you know, which what I present to work is like, because if I show you how I am when I'm at home, of course I wouldn't have a job. But at the end of the day, I'm 100% the same to him, you know, now as I was before. I just think that he got deeper. I think it's a turnoff probably for E if somebody is just like putting it all out on the table at the very beginning.
It is.
That's just a lot to consume on your plate. Like you don't want to present everything all at once. That's like having seafood, pasta, like a hamburger. It's too much, my opinion.
And then of course all the stuff that just sit there, you know, it starts going bad. So you know, I definitely
it goes bad.
I definitely agree that CT, you're right. There is the element of some people are presenting their best selves when you first meet, and that part is good. Like you're supposed to, like to some degree. If we've made it to the place where it's like, hey guys, or hey, you know, I really like you, I want to take you out, then yeah, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to offer a good choice of place for us to go. And I'm going to probably look at the menu and make sure that I can give you details. Like y'all know me, like if it's some foodie stuff, I'm taking you to a private place and I'm going to be back there mixing the drink myself. And I'm going to do all that stuff. And I'm going to have the chef come out and be like, hey, show her this or pull this stuff off the menu and do this. Like if I do that, if I'm taking you, yeah, I'm going to do those things. But I think the problem that we have now is people expect so much up front. They expect like the husband package at the door, right? It's like, hey, I just met you and I'm going to tell you everything about me and I want you to lock into me just because I like you. And I'm like, I can like you, but you still not be good for me. And that's a lot of the experience that I've been having in dating, where it's like, are you really good for me? Now, I'm going to say this and then we're going to jump into some other stuff. Now, the fun that I have in dating is that a lot of people try to present me to me. Right?
Like, what? Okay, what?
It's the best thing ever, y'all. Y'all know it's the best thing ever. It's like, all right, hey, you meet me, you're like, oh, you know, you cook and you make drinks, you do this stuff. Oh, that sounds real nice. Like, you know what? You can cook for me.
For me, yeah. I heard you, E. I heard you, E. Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, I could, but like, wouldn't it be better if I offered it? But now you're offering me to you from me.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a chance. No, I mean, of course not, because it's like it's an automatic assumption that whatever I'm good at, you automatically get access to. Like, okay, cool. I should expect the same thing. All right, so you're a social media personality. Hey, I expect you to go and update my pages and stuff. Hey, you can manage my social media. It's like, no, you don't meet people. You just assume that whatever that they do, you should just be able to plug in and just
a foodie and a mixologist.
I know. That's why I say I'm a food girl. So excuse me, I probably would have said that.
Me too.
Listen.
Like women do love food and drinks. So
you know what? It's been so bad. It's been so bad before that somebody has said, "Hey, you know what? You know, I could go. No, you know, this is when we was working from home and all that stuff a lot more. You know, I come over and hang out. You know what I'm saying? And then you can cook me lunch. I'm working, but you are going to come hang out, and then I'm supposed to stop working and come cook for you. But you know what? No, you know what? Listen, that's my gift. And if you gonna
wait, me, don't you do that? Don't you?
Whoa!
That's not fair. That's not fair. Because again, what did I just say I was doing? I'm working. I'm doing this. And you like, you know what? I know you're doing all these things and you're handling all this business. I'm gonna ask you to do more for me. No, stop offering me to me.
I don't see nothing wrong with that, but okay.
Yeah, of course you don't see that wrong with it. Nobody sees nobody sees anything wrong with letting me cook.
His appearance on the show. I know he showed up earlier, but he's making another cameo.
Okay.
No.
You get two.
Right, that's fine. That's fine.
You get nothing.
For the last time, no.
Mr.
That's fine.
scotch.
That's fine. Hey, look, that's fine.
With E.
Hey,
Let's
if you
let,
think
let
that
me,
you
I
think
don't
just
even
because
know
I
what
cook,
time we got
go
going
for it,
on. Let's talk, ladies, friends, Bree and
Nope.
let me bring down the emotion in the room and speak logically in this moment. Eric, your gifts are not for you.
For you.
Oh my God.
Come on.
See? Here we go.
Come on, Bishop.
Here we go.
If our gifts were for ourselves, God would not have given them to us. So he gave to us so we could give to others. So in the spirit of how you presented yourself based upon the gift that you have been given, now it is your responsibility to make sure that you give. So what happens? Because the bat signal in your life is cooking. When you put the bat signal up, Batman don't show up for Batman when the bat signal goes up unless they need Batman. So when your bat signal goes up, that means scotch with E. If he's cooking, if he's mixing drinks, whether you are a lady or a group of people who need something good to eat, your gift when given to the world makes the world better. Now, we talked about this in a couple of pods. Some people show up when your gift or your bat signal is going on and they misappropriate what it is that your bat signal is for. So they show up because they were attracted to the gift.
That's right, trying to use you.
So because they were attracted to the gift, they are in the space. Now it is your responsibility to be the giver of the gift. Now, if they stay too long, now you have a responsibility to what did you say? What'd you call it, Brittany? Because I thought it was brilliant. What did you call them? When you exit somebody from your life, who's the
offboarding.
Oh, now it's your responsibility to offboard them, but they show up because your gift attracted them, because your gift is supposed to attract them. And if I'm trying to be biblical for the moment, one might hear the text in the New Testament say that man may see your good works and glorify the Father who is in heaven. So when your gifts are at work, God gets glory because of those gifts. When it's misappropriated, that's when you find personal frustration with the people who are there. Let's go back to we're in season 1 now, E. When people show up in your life, right? And that's when it gets messy. It's messy because they were there too long, right? When we did the light show, you were a light for a moment and they showed up for you to meet the need. And now the need is over with. Now they need to go. So easy motivationers, I need you to hashtag offboarding. We need to make viral.
Oh yeah,
ability to offboard. But E, I know the intention of your heart isn't to say that I don't want to give my gift, but you got to recognize, man, that people are attracted to that gift, bro. At every level. And I don't want somebody who needs your gift to miss your gift because others who've shown up in your life misappropriated that gift when they got to it. You feel me, bro?
That's a word. That's a word.
That's it.
I'm with it. Now, listen, I'm with it. I get it. That goes back to discernment. I know who to share my gifts with and who to not. Yes. So it's not like I didn't just donate carrot cake brownies to the team. It's not like I didn't sign up to teach kids. I will continue to give the gift. But when the expectation, entitlement comes into play, that's when I have to kind of put that big old wall up and be like, excuse me, honey, it's okay. Yes, I do have a gift, but you thinking you're entitled to it is where I have to kind of stop you and be like, if you are in my space, you will get the gifts regardless. So all you got to do is be there. But when you start feeling entitled to it, that's when I got to pull back and be like, excuse me, it's not your gift to feel entitled to.
So and right now, that's not your primary role. It's not your primary job. You have other things that you have to do. So I understand you being tired and not always feeling like it either. And you don't want someone to set that high bar of expectation that if you marry me, I'm going to cook every day because I'm a great cook. No, you're going to have to start cooking too, sis.
Yeah, look.
So I get it. You don't want to be worn out. Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I meant by offering me to me, because it's like, oh, cool. We're going to get together. You're going to cook. I'm like, you already know I'm gonna cook, but saying it like that just throws me all off. To be
I think you just don't like the person. That's what
we need episode. We need part
See, here
4.
it is. And Johnny always go to, you don't like the person. I don't like for somebody feel entitled to whatever I got.
I know. I always go to that, like the person, because when you really feeling somebody, some of that stuff you don't.
That's true. That's true.
You just like, okay, I could. Like it don't even matter.
That's funny. No, what I mean,
get on over, girl. Like you wouldn't even. That was you. That was my impression of you.
Girl. Do it again, Johnny.
Come on over, girl. I could. I got some drinks here too. I just got a new scotch from 1932.
I wouldn't say like that, but yeah. I mean, but again, that is me offering it, right? That's not somebody feeling entitled to it. So that's good. But that's the point. You know what I'm saying? But you know what though? Let me go ahead and say this. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for this conversation. Thank you for the enlightenment. Thank you for the fun. Thank you for the funny. Thank you for the real, right? Because we can't talk. We can't have these type of conversations without really going around and hitting all of it. And I love the fact that you guys are giving such a wonderful perspective. Yeah, thank you, Cam. A wonderful perspective from your lenses in that they're diverse. And like CT, I know how you keep it to the center and you do a great job of making sure that we got the true perspective. And I love that. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and help us get to that next space. So CT, what would grandma say about couples, relationship dynamics, and appreciation? What would grandma do?
We need to hear it, grandma.
Listen. As we do each week, Bree, I don't know how much you've got a chance to interface with how we in this segment break down these moments where grandma has something to say. And in season 2, grandma might say, "Come here, baby." And grandma would say, in the spirit of the idea, she's like, you know what? Let me talk about a couple. Because a couple is not a lot, it's a few. But when you think about a couple, she said, here's what I want you to consider. Now, I want to add a little asterisk here. There was this thing I was going to do with grandma, but because of copyright infringement, I'm not going to do it. So we're going to keep it to the original design of what grandma might do. And so grandma would say it this way. The C in couple is that you need to, wait for it, choose to be cute. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of alliteration in this one. And E, when I get to the E, you're going to appreciate what the E has to say for E. But when you think about a couple, I've got to remember that I'm choosing to be here. I'm making the choice consciously to in all the good and all the bad, all the right and all the wrong, I'm choosing to be here. And why did I add the word cute? Because sometimes it's not always pretty. Sometimes when I'm choosing to be here, it's not always pretty. So I got to keep it cute. I've got to give myself the permission to allow, as they would say, I'm going to give a little PDA to our relationship, that public display of affection. So folks don't get it mistaken or mix it up, that the couple who's here, we're choosing to be here and we're cute together. Now, when I think about how this couple chooses to be together in their cute self, the O in couple, Johnny, might represent oh, but no C. Let me say it again. Oh, but no C. When I'm choosing to be here, I'm gonna need you to know that they're with me, which is why you got to be cute in that PDA. Because if you with me and you come incorrect, I'm gonna come correct. So, oh, but no C. Don't bring that, as you say, E, in the picture. Don't bring your booty around here, because that booty is with me. So, oh, but no C. It's gonna be cute when we're together, because oh, it's not the time morning show. It's me and my boo. And that would have been a song right there, but I'm not playing the song right now. So when I think about the you, because we are a cute couple who choose each other and we are oh but no seeing, I'm thinking about the you, and that is as Rihanna might say, under my umbrella, a. And what does an umbrella represent? An umbrella is a covering. An umbrella is when the rain is falling. The person who's with me is making sure the rain don't hit me. Now, if I'm remembering as I am walking with my beloved couple friend, Miss Melanie, sometimes when I'm holding the umbrella for her, you know what's happening with me? I'm the one that's getting wet. So, but she's dry, I'm wet. She's dry, I'm wet. The umbrella is my ability to, in the couple dynamic, I recognize that sometimes I have to hold the umbrella so that she doesn't get wet, but sometimes she's got to hold it too. That's when we get real cute together. And when she's holding my umbrella or when I'm holding her umbrella, it gets me to the P. And the P is representative of this idea that in a real couple, I got peace. Now, peace is that supernatural term that might say that surpasses all understanding. Peace is the thing that shows up that sometimes if we don't recognize that you don't get peace without war. Yeah, I didn't hear no amens right there. You don't get
amen.
War. Sometimes you got to be in a fight together. And when you're in that fight together, because you're covering each other with the umbrella, because it's but no, see, you not gonna mess with me. This thing gives us permission to know that when I come home after having been in the war all day, there's peace where I am. When she is where she's got to be, and there's craziness all around her, I need to be her peace. Because when we provide ourselves peace for one another, I get to the L. And the L, if I could, Bree, is representative of a space where we live, love, and laugh together. That's 3 L's. I'm going to give you a 3 for 1. The live, love, and laughing together gives us permission to be able to know that at any given time when we're in war together, we might be laughing at the hard thing. We're going to be loving ourselves through it, but we're living this thing out together because I'm covered by that umbrella. Because but no, see, you're not gonna mess with me because I'm choosing you in the cuteness. Now let's get to the E, because I think the E makes it all wrap up real good for me. Now, when I think about the E in the alliteration that we are about to be in, here is how I like to say it for you all. When I'm E in a couple, we're going to encourage each other to emancipate and extricate any and everything that would keep us from being enthusiastically enjoying the life we have here on this earth. And when we do that, Mary J. Blige would say, everything. You are my everything. I play the song, but for copyright reasons, I'm not going to. If you missed it the first time, let me say it again. I'm going to make sure that in the E in couple, we are in to encourage each other to emancipate and extricate any and everything that would keep us from enthusiastically enjoying the earth that we're in. Because when we do that, we are everything to each other. And when we are everything to each other, we love, live, and laugh together because there's peace that's been provided in the space we're in because we're our umbrella for each other. Because, but no, see, you can't mess with me because we choose to be cute together. Thank you, Grandma.
Woo! Yes.
Thank you, Grandma. That was like that was like a 12 alliteration E you did. That's how you just went in. I
came ready. I was ready for
you.
Ready.
Like, hey, I wish I could play a song too, Lil Wayne. I'm going in. Like, you did. And he went hard. Okay, all right. Thank you, CT. Grandma laid it out. All right, now wow. Like I would like to unpack a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, there's so much in there because like the cute couple thing, like one day, and then like, yeah, like we gonna get there. Okay, all right. Umbrella. I got 3 of them.
3 of them.
You only need 1.
I do have peace too. Like I have peace. So, I'm gonna wait. Got peace. That's right. That's right. And your triple L, yeah, I live them my things. I laugh a lot. I love and I live. Oh yeah, but them E's, boy, yeah, I ain't made it there yet. Yeah, I ain't made it to the E's. Like there's a lot of, I ain't found that yet. When I find them quadruple octagon E's, then we gonna know. When I get the octagon E's, then I'm gonna come to you because I'm gonna invite y'all to the wedding, and it's gonna be like, y'all know this is the octagon, right? Because you had to meet all of the E's to be with me.
Yes.
Now, Bree, one of the fun things that I get to do on the show every single week is go, Johnny, what you got?
She saw it coming, and she still couldn't.
I was waiting. I was like sitting here waiting.
Every time.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, this conversation has been so good. It's been so good. We've talked so much about all the couple things and couple appreciation and relationship dynamics. But you know what you know how I do. we have to start with ourselves first.
Yeah.
Like, do the work on yourself before you jump into all these relationships. So I know we have fun having this conversation about like how you presenting yourself on social media, and is it the real you? Is it, and you present too much? All the things, y'all. We have to do the work on ourselves, especially at this big old grown age that we're at. It's time to do the work on yourself, because then you will be able to have that discernment, right? When you're meeting people, and be able to peep out if they're being their authentic selves and just being fun and whatever, or they have some underlining manipulative thing that's going on. But you got to do the work on yourself too, so that when you come to the relationship, you're not presenting a false self. You're not presenting someone that you are not, and you're not trying to get anything out of anybody else except just that companionship, that love, that fun, that joy, all the things that we were kind of talking about, and that CT just mentioned, and what would grandma do. But you got to do that work on yourself first. So it starts with us first before we try to present it to the world, because I know we keep talking about it, but like we're in this culture now where we are doing that. We're like, what can he bring to the table? What can she bring to the table? What are they doing? But what are you doing? Right? Like, are you comfortable in the skin you're in? Are you good with who you are before you go out and try to couple up and all the things? Because we see all the great couples that's on social media, but the real great couples are like together and working together and working on themselves separately and with each other. So I just think it just starts with ourselves, y'all. Like, we got to make sure that we are whole before we jump into these relationships. I mean, I've expressed this before, that Terry and I are like 7 years apart. So that was a big difference when we got married. So there was a lot of things I had to learn, but I was still me. I still knew who I was and what I wanted from our relationship. Does not mean that you're not going to grow together, but I knew who I was and what I wanted to accomplish in life, even separately from him. So I just encourage us to do that, right? Start with yourself first before you go try to couple up and get a man to take you on a yacht and a woman to cook and clean, or whatever it is that we out here expecting from each other. Because this stuff ain't real, y'all. This stuff ain't real. Okay. No. I've never been on a yacht in my whole entire life. So, and I'm completely happy. So yeah, just start with yourself. That's all I gotta say.
No, that's beautiful. Thank you, Johnny. And I think it's a true statement that you do got to deal with yourself, right? Like, and I will jump into your message from your AOC, because it is about yourself, right? Ladies and gentlemen, some things are very simple. Don't expect what you can't give yourself from anybody. Like, if you go to anybody with entitlement outside of your ability to provide for yourself, you have already failed. Yeah. Because if I walk into a room and go, CT, can you buy me this $100 thing? And he look at me and go, do you got $100? And I go, no. Then I have taught him everything he needs to know. Then maybe you should go work on getting $100 to buy the thing that you want, instead of coming to me expecting me to just give you the $100 for something you just want. It's not a need. There's nothing behind it. It's just some silly stuff that you just shot out of your mouth and expect somebody else to give you. You have done nothing to provide CT with any gratitude or any appreciation of who you are to even be asking for these things. You're just feeling that I should be able to come to you because, CT, I see you drink bourbon. I see you play golf. I know you got to be living a good life, sir. So I know you got to be meeting like some really nice people that you can be looking out for me with, right? Like, I should be able to get access to what you're working hard at, right? No, that is not how it works. CT's doing CT's work to build the network that he wants to make, so he can have the opportunities that he's trying to take, not for somebody else to just come in and be like, hey, yo, I know this guy. And that automatically gets you everything he has. So do the work. Like Johnny said, do the work. If you have the expectation of somebody being able to do something for you, the best way to do that is to be in the position to do it for yourself and have somebody else do it for you. That way you can actually appreciate it. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to come to the final thoughts. This has been a wonderful episode, guys. I had no idea it was going to turn out this way, but I knew it was going to do good stuff. And I would not be satisfied if I didn't get to hear from you, Bree, your final thoughts. Thank you for being here. Let us know, let the Easy Monday Motivationers know what we can take away from today's conversation. And tell them what you're excited about coming up in your life too. Because, we want to keep people pumped and motivated.
Yeah, I will say what was on my heart while you guys were speaking, all good stuff. Like, I took a lot of things away from everything that you guys said. I would say my final thought would be, if you are somebody who's looking for someone, I have asked so many single people this question in the last 6 months. Have you prayed about it? And the answer is always, wait, no, I guess not. I got my husband by prayer. I literally, and God, I think God knows when you're serious. When you're coming to God, like with a list and you're like, God, like, this is all the things that I want. And what you want may not be his will for you, right? And so I finally got to the place where I was like, God, what is your perfect will? Because I'm tired of wasting my time. Send them. I want all the single people to know that God is really good at picking out the person for you, but it may not come in the package that you think it's going to come in. It may not be the color that you thought of, or, it may not be the social status that you thought of, but I did not have any idea, because my man was from the streets, that he was going to end up being the man of God that I needed. I'm dating a man that I thought was a man of God before him, and he was an absolute travesty. So you just don't know how the person's going to be packaged, And then I could say for the married people, like, again, prayer. Pray for your spouse. Like, do you pray for your spouse? Pray for your spouse. Like, the things you want to see, because I believe that marriage is a threefold cord. I believe it should be the husband, the wife, and God in the center. And if you're both going to God about each other, and he knows us better than we know each other. And he could, like, I can't tell you how many times, it just happened this week. I prayed to God about something this morning. And by this afternoon, my husband's saying, man, God just dropped this in me. And that's because we're all in that threefold cord. So I would bring it to the spiritual level and say on both fronts, pray, and pray for real. Pray for real.
That is beautiful. Thank you, Bree. And I agree. Like, I pray every day. So I'm with it. Yes. I ain't got no list either, God, because I'm like, I don't know, because I've been failing for no time, God. I think you know better. So God, bring me who you see me with. And then like, no, God, I don't like that. I'm just
right.
I did what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm like, there's those times where I'm like, I know God didn't bring you. I know. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Wrong address.
There's always the seriousness in the joke, but yes.
Yeah.
All right, so CP, I'm gonna come to you for your final thoughts.
Bree, thank you. Right, there is the continued evolution of our pod, of our connection, of what we're doing here, and I do think that as we have our guests on the show, you all do bring out a different energy and perspective and idea, and I do appreciate very much you providing this platform, an opportunity to learn about you, hear about your story, and to hear what it is that you would say relative to this topic, because there's somebody who's listening who will resonate with. And for my final thought, I do think that like there is no secret. There is no secret. Like, there's no secret. I think it is you choosing to be present and to engage in. There will be things that you love and there will be things that you hate.
Yes.
And you choose to still stay in it.
Every day.
And sometimes it's hard when it's new, and it's hard when it's not. Yeah. Johnny, I do honor very much that you have the responsibility within yourself to choose to take care of and understand and to know you. There is a thread that came through the conversation today. It was about identity, and that if you don't have yours, then you tend to find that people will show up in your spaces based upon how you have identified yourself, and then you mad at them because they only responded to the thing that you told them that you were. And so we talked about a couple weeks ago, like my honest answers only, like when you can be honest with yourself and deal with truth around who you are and what you are, actually then will attract something for you, not your gift, but you'll attract something for you that is more specific to what it is that doesn't meet your need, but is the fulfillment of a need that is unmet.
All right. CT. All right. Yeah. You know what? I know you speaking to me. It's all right. Hi, Johnny. That's what you.
Yeah, just come over.
Hey, Johnny.
I was talking to you. Hi, Johnny. Got you. All right, Johnny. What are your final thoughts?
I have loved this episode. Bree, you are invited back anytime. It's been so nice to have another female on here with the guys. And what would you say?
Take it back.
No, I wanted to come back. I needed help. And the Lord sent the help.
Amen.
Yes. No, I really enjoyed this conversation, and you offer such great perspective, such insight. And so I'm just super grateful for this conversation. The other part of my final thought is that I'm staying married, because the way that you have described.
Hold on, Johnny. Say that again. Say it again. I'm
staying married.
Yes.
The way that you have described the market today.
Yes.
I think I'm just going to put up with whatever I've been putting up with.
Yes.
As soon as we hang up, I'm going to see what he wants to eat. I'll cook it, I'll buy it, I'll take him out, whatever it is. Like literally whatever it is.
Johnny, I text Mel like, what do you want to do, baby?
Listen.
Oh my God, I probably the lesson has been learned. All y'all gonna be like, hey guys, I gotta hang up. I gotta go tip my.
Why you being so nice? Like, babe, whatever you need, whatever you.
Your spouses can thank me later.
Yes. And I know we kind of went back and forth with all of this. And I know you're doing the work. So I want you to be in a great, healthy relationship. And this conversation has been great. But I am walking away super grateful for the couple that I am a part of.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo, I'm grateful.
Amen.
That's all I can say.
Thank you. And that's
out here.
And that's the positive note that we want to make sure everybody walks away with, that there is the opportunity to be grateful and appreciate the relationship that you're in as well, right? Like, you know, that's the thing that I really want to pull out, to be like, yo, I'm proud of y'all for all of the work that y'all do to stay happy, to stay coupled up, you know, and appreciate each other. The messages that y'all pass out for the perspectives of those who are single and those who are in marriages to try to be the best versions of themselves and be happy and whole is what we have to hear. We have to hear more of that, because not a narrative in any conversation. Ain't nobody saying, listen, stay with your husband, stay with your wife, go to God, pray for each other. People just like, oh no, it's better out there. If he don't do it, someone else will. All of that stuff. All of that stuff is trash, y'all, because that ain't true. We were not made that way.
I think Tyler.
I mean, I do bad all by myself. AOC. All right, so what I'm just gonna say is my final thought for everybody is continue to have the hope that love is real, and that you can find happiness in a relationship with someone. And you also need to be okay with discussing holistically your relationship dynamics. There's going to be some uncomfortable conversations you got to have, and you're going to have to work through it. Real happiness is fleeting for a reason, because it's followed by joy, right? You're happy with somebody, but then you get to enjoy the rest of your life with them, and you'll have happy moments and sad moments and all these other things, but you will still find joy in that relationship as long as you continue to put God in the center, pray for your partners, and be honest about who you are and be willing to do the work. So I am very proud of you guys for coming in here and actually clearing up some stuff. You actually, somebody called me John Henry. I don't know what that is, but still, This has just been a great conversation, and there's no way that we would be able to do what we do without the people that watch us and continue to support us. So I'm going to go ahead and give a wonderful shout out to the homeboy Cam that always makes it do what he do. The dude is always on time and always ready to make it happen. DT and my girl Johnny, my liege, as always. If you guys didn't show up every week, this wouldn't be a show. It would just be a guy going off and then doing saying stupid stuff. I'm just saying, like, that's what the show would be. I'd just be in here like, I think that's what I've been saying. All the things. And Bree, thank you for being also a fan and for coming on and with us and providing your perspective. We really appreciate it. So, guys, if as always, you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere that you need us to be. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify. You can tune in, you can like, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. We want to see you where we are. So meet us where we be. I'm going to say my thing that I always say. You guys can just chill until the next episode. Peace. Have a good night, guys.
Peace.
Cam, right. I like the eyebrows. Like perfect.